you're so fine. I really wanna make you mine. Sit back and let's unwind, and we can take a bottle of some wine. Ooh. So are you down to rock with me? Cause girl, you fly just like my G. And I need to know, I need to know. Are you really down for anything? 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 So fine, I really wanna make you mine. Sit back and let's unwind, and we can take a bottle of some wine. Ooh. So are you down to rock with me? Cause girl, you fly just like my G. And I need to know, I need to know. Are you really down for anything? 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 Are you really down for anything?
Just Keepin.
I don't know what's going on right now. This whole thing's acting up. But what's going on, people? We're back again on the Dre James Show. And you know what? We've got to start this off properly. Let's run the intro from the beginning. Let's go. Boom.
Just Keepin.
You made the decision to play Thiago. But Klopp doesn't change the system since move back left. You don't want to change from the 4-3.
That's better. What's going on, people? We're back again on the Jerry James Show for another preview, the second preview of the day. Now, of course, you're going to get your little updated lineup announcement on tomorrow. I mean, just before the lineup's announced. But I said, you know what? You got G available. Do you know what I mean? He's not with little G yet. And we said, why not run a proper preview show? Let's break it down. Chop up, obviously, potential, team news. And the biggest news, Endo officially signing for Liverpool Football Club. As we always say, when I get behind the camera or you see myself or G in front of the camera, please make sure that we are smashing a like. On road to 100 million subscribers. So please make sure you're subscribed if you're new to the channel. And if you want to go and see more content as well, please just click the notification bell, man. The notification bell to be informed when we're dropping any content. Now, look, we're all excited about Endo. We're happy about Endo, but we've got to get down to the game, man. We've got to chop up the game. And we're going to have to obviously do that today. Before I do that, G, what are you telling me, man?
All good, bro. All good. Yeah, literally, man. All good. Just working all of that. Said, yeah, you know what? Let's get into tomorrow's game. I think everyone's super excited. Liverpool bought a fantastic midfielder. One of the best out there. In that position, so I think move. All jokes aside, I think people are just gassed. We finally signed a midfielder who's supposedly a defensive midfielder, even though he's played most games at centre back. So I think heading into tomorrow's game, is he available? Before we get into all that, is he actually available?
He's available.
Okay.
If
I heard
he
about
was
registration.
if he was registered before 12, and I believe he was because the announcement was at 12:30. So
Okay, cool.
if they had done the paperwork beforehand, before letting us know, then technically he would be available for tomorrow's game.
Okay.
There were obviously questions about whether he was fit, whether he's had a preseason, which he has had a preseason. He's played games, not obviously every preseason game, but I think when Klopp first spoke to him, he had actually finished the training session. So yeah, so that guy is just I think he'll be up and ready. But it's good that you're feeling well. I need to obviously get to the people in the obviously chat, guys. Make sure we obviously smashing a like.
How are you doing, bro?
Big up. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm tired. I'm very tired. I don't know why. Tired.
Guys, we've been streaming every single day, people. You know what I'm trying to say? Jerry bringing you that news, whether it's 9 a.m., 12 in the afternoon, in the evening, bro. We're here grinding and working all the time. And just before he goes, make sure you guys are obviously going to check out the membership as well. As he mentioned before, got so many things coming up. So make sure, I'm assuming it's somewhere in the link, I can't see on here. But yeah, make sure you guys obviously checking the membership stuff out as well. Like I said, more like he said, there's so many things coming up, man. The season just started. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, man.
There we go, man. There we go. Before I'm just going to put the membership into the chat. I'm going to put the link into the chat now.
Big up everybody who's obviously subscribed as a member already, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, love and appreciation always, every single time as well, man. So yeah, big up your damn selves, man.
There we go. Big up. Yeah, and guys, make sure obviously we're heading to GTV as well. But in the building, we got K-Mac in the building as well. Big up to K-Mac. We've got Bernard Sweeney saying hopefully Endo will get some game time tomorrow because the lad is buzzing. Very, very true. Big up to Chris LFC as well. We've got Keep It Level in the building as well, saying walking down Anfield Road, smoking Endo, sipping on gin and juice, lay back. I got my mind on my DM and the DM on my mind. All right. We're doing the same. We've got Boom Boom 43 in the building. Big up to Boom Boom. We've got Andy Renari in the building as well. Yeah, Keep It Level talking about work permit as well. So yeah, there is obviously probably an issue with work permit. But look, let's get cracking. Let's get into it. The signing of Endo, before we obviously look at the game, the signing of Endo, how big are you? How big of a signing is this for Liverpool? I know it might not be your preferred target, but is that now cool? We've got a DM in. Moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think, you know, I mean, me and you spoke off air just before backstage when we were talking about it. And it's like, look, man, this is the guy, you know, Klopp's been apparently following this guy. He likes him, obviously. I doubt he's going to sign someone he doesn't like, but yeah, you know what? He likes him. Clearly, he's a player he's been tracking for a while. So, you know what I mean? I think it's all just going to come to any player. And I think the only reason why it's so much with Endo is just because of, you know, age, not really the high profile type of name that we probably all wanted to see, you know, in terms of player wise and stuff like that. But ultimately, let's wait and see, you know what I mean, how he does. Just like anybody, when Nunes signed, it was, and that's why I find it so funny. When Nunes signed, everyone thought, yeah, this guy was going to be good. And as soon as it didn't really pan out that way, you know, it's certain people have just kind of not turned, but just like, don't really know about Nunes. And at the end of the day, I guess you just got to give someone the chance to see, you know, how they do. If he has a first season like a Nunes, then everyone's going to be well within their rights to kind of look at him and think, don't really know, to be honest with you. But if he has a season like Mo Salah does, not in terms of goals, like just in terms of performance-wise, then, we've clearly picked up a really, really good player. So, yeah, man, let's just wait and see. And we go from there. But you mentioned it. He wasn't my choice. He's not going to be someone I'm like, oh, my goodness. Like, it's just going to be more. If he comes in, does well, great. If he doesn't, listen, me and Jerry will be here. We will be criticizing you 100%. So, yeah, I mean, we just have to wait and see on that one, man. Big up everyone in the chat as well.
Yes, big up. Yeah, man.
Yeah, how are you feeling about it, like, in a general sense?
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I'm actually happy. The reason why I'm happy, right, is because this reminds me of when we were it's like a back to the reality slap. Like, I don't expect anything from Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool are going to win anything. I don't think we're in that stage of our point. But it's comfort. It's what I know as a Liverpool fan growing up. Come on, myself, UG, everyone in the chat. These are the types of deals that we loved, man. Usama Asaidi, who is this guy? We've never heard of him. Samed Yezel, who is this guy? I've never heard of him. Even like Aquilani, I ain't never heard of him. Markovic, I ain't never heard of him. All these brothers, we never heard of them until Liverpool are linked, and then we're looking at compilations. This is a Liverpool-esque signing. I like the guy. I like Asian players. I think they're good. I think technically this is very, very, very good.
Yeah.
And because he's an unknown quantity, I'm more excited about that than a signing that I've gone and seen and I'm not too sure about because I've seen before. I have no preconceptions about the brother. I've got no like conceived ideas. I think, look, all the things that I said is what Klopp said. I said apparently he's a family man, aggressive, good in the tackle, a good lad. That's all the same stuff that Klopp's been saying. So for me now, I just look at this signing like, you know, you might uncover a gem on football, on FIFA career mode or Football Manager or something like that, and you're like, "Rah, who is this brother?"
Yeah, I hear it.
That's Endo.
I mean,
you, man.
30 years of age being a gem. Yeah, I hear it. But I know you mean.
But a great example, yeah. Great example. You see AC Milan. Remember they signed that, wasn't it like a midfielder or was it like a number 10 that they went and signed? Some random brother was playing like semi-pro ball.
AC Milan.
Was that 2 seasons ago, last year? Hold on.
People in the chat, help me out.
What was the guy's name, guys? Help me.
AC Milan.
It might not
only
be
number 10 that they've signed recently.
There's a player. There's a player that was playing like Sunday League. Like
Someone said Junior Messies. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Is it that brother? Is it that guy?
Let me see if I can.
Yeah, Junior Messias. That's it. That's the one.
Who the hell's that?
Exactly,
this Donny. Okay. Yeah.
Look, he's 32, yeah, and he he joined AC Milan with a 1-year loan deal after bagging for Crotone in Serie B, but before then he was playing in the lower tier non-professional Italian divisions, and he's like Brazilian, and he only got his thing now. He's actually left on loan to go to Genoa. What I'm saying is, when he came in, like he was bagging. And it was just like, oh, who is this guy? So you just don't know. It's like, I hear that he's not young, he's not this or that. But look, even if he was to go and just play at the highest level now for 3-4 years, isn't that the same amount of time that Fabinho's been performing at the highest level?
Yeah.
We signed Milner at 30. Didn't we sign Milner at 30? And Milner at 31, 32 was no scrub for Liverpool anyway.
But do you think though? Let's say I'll use the Milner example. Do you think like with certain players, it's context of time? So with Milner, when we signed him at that time, we needed that. We needed someone who was obviously, like, for example, Endo's not experienced in winning at a high level, so to speak. I think he's won in Japan, but not at like the highest level. Obviously, over here, he's been used to, relegation battles and stuff like that, scrapping at the bottom of the leagues. But when we signed Milner, he had played obviously Newcastle, Leeds, Aston Villa, obviously done little bits there, not won there. Went to Manchester City, then became a serial winner over there. Obviously then left at the age of 30 because they did, surplus to requirements. We then were coming up at that point. So we kind of needed someone. I mean, when Milner joined, I think, he was the only person who had actually won a Premier League. Yeah, he was the only person who had won a Premier League in our whole team. So it's like, when you've got that, and then the manager has someone to kind of work with and bounce off kind of thing, be like, yo, what was it even like in the, he must have asked him questions like, yo, what is it even
I can't hear that. I said, what does it like? How does it feel to lift the cup? You think Klopp was asking?
No. But you remember, yeah, when, I know go a little bit off topic, but remember when Klopp first come in, we got to the League Cup final, lost, got to Europa League final, lost. That was off the back of him losing the Champions League final for Dortmund, like previously. He was going through a record where he was just, there was like a record that, Klopp lost bare finals. He just can't take, he couldn't really get over the line kind of thing. I remember looking at that because I remember at the time thinking, brother, we just signed a guy who's gonna, you know what I'm saying, he just gets you there, full play and them thing there. But when it comes to doing the deed, you're just not really about that kind of life. Like I thought that was gonna be the thing, but obviously having then someone like Milner there, I feel like it helped us because then the rest of the team, bro. I'm sorry, but if I'm a player, our team has never won shit, and a winner comes in. Yeah, so what's Pep saying in these moments? Like, how's training every day and and he's obviously an ultimate professional, though. To be fair, that's why Milner probably is a bit different because he's an ultimate professional.
No. Do it. I hear what you're saying, right? But where do you think Liverpool are then?
Bro, I think we're in the same place. Don't get twisted. But
no, because you're saying that Liverpool were in a different spot. You know, they were down in the dumps and they were trying to get up. That's where we are. Like, I don't think you understand.
But Jerry said
what we've done yet is we've got out this club. You know, we like as in any brother that you thought was the guy or used to be the guy or was top. Every one of them is gone. Every single one of them is gone. And if they're not gone, bar Alisson, they're not performing to the level they were. Other than that, they're young. So we're talking about a different team. We're in a different stage. Like we're not. Remember, Liverpool. We're not in a stage where we were like 2-3 seasons ago, where Liverpool at the top, and we're like, yeah, why are we signing Minamino? We should be signing this brother or Minamino. Not even. But you get my gist. Right now, we're in a position where it's like, oh, like, bruv, like think of it. This midfield right now was full of cams and centre attacking mids and creative ballers. We've got no legs in the midfield. We've got no defenders in the midfield. We've got nothing. So technically, a brother that can go and play multiple positions, that's played in the Champions League, that understands German football and Klopp wants to play this German way, he needs a brother like that. That's why he's so excited. That's why in that video, he's all smiling, like the teeth are back. Because he's like, finally, like I've got someone there that I can actually rely on.
Listen, look, me and Jerry said it 100 times, man. It's his job on the line. He's the one who will get sacked I would like to think he'd be the one who gets sacked if things don't really go to plan this season. It's going to be, like I keep saying, I think it's just going to be interesting. Not even just Endo. I just think with Liverpool in a general sense, in terms of where I feel like where we're at and where we're heading. It's very interesting. It's just very, very interesting to see.
All right. So last question before we get into obviously the preview as well and just look at the people's comments. Yeah. Do you think at the end of the season you'll be sitting there saying, Endo's cold, fam. Endo's hard? Or do you look at Endo like an El Neni at Arsenal? Washed.
Yeah.
No,
but El Neni has had moments for Arsenal where I was like, oh, you know what? He played all right today. You know, I can't even front. Like he was a solid player today, man.
But you think he's going to be that signing as opposed to being like a Milner or a who's been solid? Like
the thing is, it's just it's mad because we both think the same thing here in terms of where we think Liverpool are at. So maybe I need to think in that context. So yeah, okay, maybe I then think he will be like a Milner type of signing because Liverpool are not the top dogs anymore. We're not even close, in my personal opinion. The only way I feel like we'd even get close to that, you'd have to go and win the league. Not anything else is literally just not even close because it would just show that you're just not really that type of team. We've really tumbled down the hill. And again, you're looking at some of the signings we've made recently. I'll be so real, man. I thought, when we won the league, sorry, I know we're going off topic, people. We'll get to the thing, but when we won the league, like. I just expected, maybe I expected too much, but like we went from winning the league, man's buying like Minamino and like all these type of players, and I'm just like, bro, are you serious? Like really, like you went to the top of the hill to get Minamino and them, man. Like, oh my days. And now we're at this point where, and no disrespect to Endo, because again, if he comes in and it's cold, I've got no beef with him anyway, so it's like I've not really got a problem, so to speak, like with him in a general sense, like how I had with like a Nunes where I was like, how's this gonna work? But with someone like him, I'm just like, people keep telling me we need a Milner kind of replacement. I'm like, no, you don't. You actually don't even need a Milner replacement. Like this team should have, if let's say, forget the intangibles like leadership. I feel like that's bullshit. Team has more than enough leadership, should be, and he's definitely not going to be one of the top leaders by any stretch of the imagination. So when I'm looking at him, he couldn't. Like, the thing is, he couldn't be. Like, it would actually be impossible because if he is one of the top leaders, so Van Dijk, Salah, Ali, Robbo, the people who have been playing at the top of football.
Do you think?
No,
I think those brothers are leaders. Like, you know,
no, but okay.
Scrap what we think. Like, I know we're all going to talk about, but scrap what we think about. Like, I know that they've won more. They're better players, right? I think my biggest worry in this team, yeah, and has been for the longest, is when I look at this team. Even though man are trying to tell me this brother's captain for that, and that brother's captain for this, and that brother's captain for that, it seemed to me like everyone was passing on responsibility in that Chelsea game and in pre-season. Like no one really knew what was this. There was no standout leader on the pitch. That actually just wasn't. There was no brother that I looked at and I was like, right, you know what? Yeah, he's showing is that guy. Like I saw it with Milner, we saw it with Gerrard, we saw it with Carragher, we've seen it with flipping Milner, Henderson. None of these brothers just looking around, throwing their arms about in the pitch, going, hey, like all over the place. There's no control. It's like them man were looking to Klopp to do that. And the thing I liked about Endo, I know because I interrupted you, is Endo went and said, I look at myself as an organizer in the midfield. So I'm not saying he's going to be the main man in the midfield. No, I think Liverpool's still going to go and try and get someone, hence why the Corey links are massive. But yeah, I think Liverpool signed him because I think Klopp he needs a leader, man. Like, I know he made obviously Verge captain and stuff, but having the captain's armband don't make you the leader of the team.
I hear it. Yeah, I hear it.
And I don't really see the leadership from anyone apart from like man leading by just being like I mean, leading by example. But leading by example is like, I don't really like that type of leadership because you see, like Gerrard, yeah. If I score a screamer, you can't score a screamer. Like you can't bend the ball like I can. So just because I'm leading by example by playing well, don't mean you've got actually anything to go and like build off. Do you know what I mean?
No,
whereas for me, I always say that Carragher, like Gerrard benefited from having Carragher on the pitch because Carragher led through like, I'm telling you to be here. I'm telling you to be here. And I think a lot of the time, and we've seen it, like in that Chelsea game, it's like no man, like we didn't know what was going on. Like Robertson was by himself, Diaz was here, Gakpo was up front, but he's supposed to be in midfield. Szoboszlai was on the left. All of a sudden, Trent's on the left-hand side, and there's no one at right back. It looked mad. There was no one holding anyone accountable, and it was just Verge. Just he likes to give man that light skin stare, like, and he's like, that don't do anything to man. It don't do anything to man.
That's in the light skin stare. Yeah. No, listen, look. Listen. You're right. You're right. At the end of the day, like, listen, no one's sitting here, but I don't want people to tune into this and think, listen, Endo might be a good player. Like I said, I just feel sorry for him because Jerry mentioned this the other day on stream. He's just come at a time where we are starving for some type of quality. We want the best of the best that we can possibly get. We've tried to go out and get a Caicedo. We've tried to go out and get a Lavia. We've looked at Tchouaméni last year, all of these kind of guys, and then you've kind of fallen down that pecking order and then looked at someone like an Endo to possibly bring in. Now, he might not be the only one. If we sign someone else, then yeah, whatever. Obviously, we're just trying to get what's available in this market at the current moment in time. And that's why I'm like, I do feel a little bit. That's why I kind of want him to do well, because I'm like, I kind of feel deep for you. Like, you know what I mean? You came at like the wrong time. Like, you needed to come once we had already sorted out that DM position. So then you coming in is just like, oh, my man, all right, cool. And then no one's even really bothered. And I feel like it's then less pressure. I know we're going to say, yeah, when people go to the games and stuff like that, yeah, they're going to back him and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. You know what I mean? If Liverpool ain't winning shit, then we'll see how long, you know what I mean, that will subsequently last in that kind of sense. And yeah, I think it's just one of those when it comes to something like an Endo. But in a general sense, yeah, Liverpool are back down. Do you know what I mean? I think it's more than people going to be like, oh, it's just been one season. Like I said, I mean, if they win the league, it will be the biggest shock I have seen in a long time. Probably one of the biggest under Jurgen Klopp, if not the biggest, because I'll be like, I do not see that at all with Liverpool kind of things. But if we do, fantastic, great. We'll be smiling, we'll be happy, we'll be gassed, But I just feel like what Jerry said, man, where we're at the moment, it to me, it just doesn't look. I don't see why people think Liverpool look like a team or a club who just go straight back here. Like, nothing screams to me that we do that at all in the slightest. But yeah, who knows? Football is just football. I have no idea.
Exactly. I think what it is with the signings as well, yeah. I think I don't want to speak for you, but I think it's fair to say, right? You see, if Liverpool had even gone in, like, forget signing McAllister and Szoboszlai stuff. Let's say we signed whoever, right? Whoever as a midfield, but we had Wataru in early. Like, Wataru came in 1st of July, boom, or 1st of June, boom, like he's in the door. We'd be sitting there thinking, you know what, and more confident in that decision, because it would have seemed on the outside that we've planned this decision. Like, this is a brother that we knew we were going to go and get. Because it's coming so late, because of this whole palaver with the midfielders leaving, not getting Caicedo, and it's seeming as though we're just scattergun at the moment, which I don't think, obviously, that was the case with the Wataru signing. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying in that regard. So, before we obviously get into the game, I need to obviously check what the Mandem is saying in the chat. Guys, there's obviously over 100 of us in the building. Please make sure we are smashing the like. We've got
no. You know what? Scratch all of that. Take that comment even off, bro. Let's see the likes go up, people. I need to see them go up. So there's over 100 of you in here, man. We need to see at least 50 likes. That's just asking for 15.
Them man think I'm Schmacker. They think they can take me for
nah, man's not feeling the like count. We've been letting it slide for a few weeks, but when you man on other channels and that, I'm seeing the like button be smashed like no tomorrow. Nah, let's see this, please. We're asking politely. If you could just hit the likes up, let's get to 50 likes. And then we'll start going through the comments and stuff like that. 44, I can see it here. Got 6 more to go. There's 6 of you being bums right now. 4 more to go.
Raw. That is
we'll
crazy.
chill.
Is this man are actually treating us like Billy Hogan and Schmacker? Do you know what I mean?
We've been too nice. 50.
We're saying there we go, man. See, this is why maybe G needs to be in the boardroom, you know. I think that Todd Bowley situation ends up proper different. Caicedo might have been through the door. Guys, make sure obviously we are smashing the like. Don't be.
We would listen. All jokes aside, man. Like, we appreciate the love regardless, man. That's just all banter and stuff like that, man. But yeah, man, like, smash the likes, man. You know what I mean? Just 1 second, literally.
There we go, man. Shout out to Mr. Moses. Mr. Moses saying age should not matter, in my opinion. Fitness, like sports science, is different now. Plus, Asians, especially Japanese players, live with crazy stamina. That's true, innit? Don't they have the oldest footballer in the world? Isn't he like 55 or something? Still kicking ball. Pro.
Yeah, for real.
It is. He's Japanese, isn't it? So we've got Musa Adams saying star players like Mo Salah, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Alisson want to win titles, so they expect the Reds to sign good players. Otherwise, if not, Liverpool may lose players. This is the thing, though, and we were talking about actually in the group chat. Good players are good players, innit? I guarantee you, every single one of those players that you went and spoke about, if you asked Mo Salah about, name me one of the best players you spoke about, he will name some brother from Basel or some brother from some Egyptian league that he played with. And we'll be like, who the hell is that? Who the hell is that brother? And he's like, no, trust me, this guy is crazy good, you know, like, I need to have him in my team. Same with McAllister. McAllister will probably go and tell you Pascal Gross is the best midfielder, one of the best midfielders he's played with. If Liverpool signed Pascal Gross, you man will be mad. Szoboszlai will probably say some Hungarian fullback saying he's the best fullback he's ever played with. Do you know what I mean? Potentially. And I'm saying that to say this. Good players are good players when they perform well. So what, if we had signed Mount for 90 million, or let's say we signed Caicedo and he flopped, then what? Let's say Caicedo came in and was a flop. Am I going to tell me, but no, McAllister wants to stay there because he wants to play with good players? Not saying he would have flopped, but come on. Like, we don't know. It's one of those ones where, do you know what I mean? You come in, like, even like the McAllister deal. That wasn't no like marquee massive signing for Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? It's not like bare teams were into it and I'm after him. We just triggered the release calls, got it done. It was 35 M's, obviously potential. Obviously, there's add-ons, but it was a quick, easy deal. Now, what are people going to tell me? Because we spent like 30 million more on Szoboszlai. That Szoboszlai has got a higher ceiling than McAllister now, or whatever. Or he's going to be a better player. I don't think we should look at it like that. I don't think it makes sense. We got Jay saying Endo is a better signing than Mason Mount. We will be better than you think. Man United are. We will be better than you think. Man United are the banter club this season. Okay, we have Marquez saying we're around the 7th place in the league, trying to build back to Champions League, I think. Yes, we're in the mud, man. We're in the mud. John saying we're back to where Klopp found us. John saying man said he wanted Endo for years. This is what I'm... But do you know what it is, though?
That bit confused me, though. That bit confused me because you wanted him for years. But then we're getting him now. I'm just like, so you wanted him for years, so we couldn't sign him before. Maybe the finances.
No, I think, yeah, he's wanted him for years. He wanted him for years. So listen to this, people. Klopp wanted him for years. Who's been making the signings at Liverpool? If G's Michael Edwards and I tell G, I want Sander Berger, you know, I want him in this team. And you're telling me, nah, but actually we're not going to go and do that because Fabinho's still here and we got this and we got that and we're not getting rid of Fabinho. Then of course you're not going to go and get him. What role do you want Endo to go and play? Are you comfortable with Endo just being on the bench? Because he mentioned that Endo at 26 would have never been able to get him. Why would they have not been able to get him? It can't be price. It can't be wages. It can't be because the player doesn't want to come. It must be because the club see that there's no spot for him at that time. I don't know. Maybe at 30, maybe at 30 it's a different conversation. You know, at 30 you can tell, man, yeah, look, if you perform well, you're going to play, but if not, you're going to be part of the bench. Whereas at 26, you might not want to be part of the bench, but we've got Fabinho at that time. So it's like, rah, do you know what I mean? Because remember, I think he moved to Stuttgart 3 or 4 years ago. So that was when we got Fabinho, essentially.
Yeah. So, no, you're right.
Maybe. I don't know, man. We got big up to Will Dead as well. Will Dead saying Jerry and GTV, big up to yourself, saying we got Jay saying Klopp in every day. We get second or third guaranteed. Guaranteed. All right. We got Andy Renari saying Andy Renari saying our fan base will either hate on him all season or hype him up ridiculously. Best in the world. Best in the world, man. Best in the world. Big up to Honesty saying Klopp said on his side no one is leaving, but he learned this transfer window, so you don't know what can happen.
Yeah, Klopp thought he had that food, boy.
Angel that 68 said, G in the boardroom would be getting sent to Guantanamo Bay. And they think you're evil, you know. They think you're waterboarding.
Listen, big up Angel, bro. He's right though. What do you what? Keep a man here. Yeah, see, this team. Listen, you wouldn't even. There would only be like a couple man from that title winning season that we had, because that was the last big trophy that we won. From that season, there would only be a couple man still here. You know, obviously Ali, Salah, Van Dijk, Trent. Yeah. Yeah, the rest would have been swapped out time ago. I would have been looking at trying to, like, a few of them, like, if we're talking like today, they would have been by now. Yeah, the rest of them would have gone. Some of them maybe would have lasted another season or two, but the rest of them, yeah, they definitely wouldn't be here, or they'd be bench players at best.
Yeah, we've got. Hold on, what was this? We've got. Is that Honesty? Hold on. Was it Honesty? Yeah. Marque saying, Jerry, you're wrong. FSG forced Klopp to say he wanted to end up for years. I'm not gonna lie. You guys saw the interview. I know G hasn't. That didn't sound like any forcefulness. Like it's like yeah. You know, in school when like every man's got Air Forces, but you pull up with like some mad Air Max. No one knows them, yeah, whatever, Dunlops and that, and you've got the sock in it, and you know, you put the sock in the tongue, and you know it's covering the boot cuts are covering it, man. Like, what are those? And you know, my thing's different, man. Watch. Yeah, you'll get to know. That's what Klopp's done with Endo. He's essentially told us, bruv, like, I know how man are moving, but watch, bro. Like, I'm just wait on it. Like, you man are going to be rocking it. You know, a man started wearing skinny jeans in 2010. The man were like, what? What the hell are you wearing? The man are like, you'll see, bro. You'll see. 3 years later. The roadmen are wearing the skinniest.
Brother, and I feel like the roadmen are wearing the skinniest ones though, like the extra skinny. I'm like, rah!
with the Zanottis, with the buckle and all of that. That's
wrong. Real talk. I think in my mind, I'm like, nah. I feel like roadmen. They always take things to the extreme. When it was baggy pants, pull down low, extra baggy. Now it's extra skinny. Like you'll see your favorite rapper, your favorite artist. The brother has to walk a certain way. Because he can't just walk like normally. He has to walk with his legs a bit out wider than that. And everything is slow. There's no big movements from man. Like, yeah, he's definitely not bending down to tie a shoelace. Like 100%.
That's why they had Margellas and that. Just the Velcro things.
Bro, it's not even that. How about that's why nowadays most man, their shoes are never tied. and they just got the shoes and it's just always the laces are just
hanging out the end.
The laces just hanging out to the side. They can't bend down to tie your shoe. That's all crazy. Tie my shoe. Nah, man. You better just get the shoe to fit the size, boy. Real talk.
Oh my God. Big up to Ladimus. Ladimus here saying, look, big up, man. Them 122 live viewers. We got actually more than that. Only 67 likes. Should be on 100 likes. Let's see if we get to that to at least 90. Listen, I swear to God, they're viewing us the same way certain men are viewing Endo. They're not rating our thing. They must not be rating our thing, but it is what it is. Mark A saying sarcasm, Jerry. Of course, I get you, my guy. Big up to Nico LFC NY saying big up JJ and G. Keep grinding, fellas. And G, put that resume in. You need that board. Hey, listen, they want you in. They want you in.
Liverpool, you know what's so bad?
They call you evil.
Well, listen for the rest of the season. I'm going to change my name on the thing.
Megatron.
The Megatron. Yeah, I'm going to change it in a sec. But yeah, bro. Listen, Liverpool, they can never have me on the board, man. I would cause too much. I would cause upset with like managers if they're just not doing their job, and if they come to me with that sentiment crap, yeah, I'm not even trying to hear that, my bro. You know what I'm saying?
I think Klopp will come to in a mad thing, like shout in your face, like mad close. Yeah. Like,
but then it'll be mad because if you start shouting, I'll just start laughing. I'll be like, brother, remember, I'll be the reason why you stay or go. So if I was you, I would just dial it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just dial it down.
We got to Nicholas Simpson saying, like you said, it's all about perspective. After missing out on this, obviously missing out, this feels underwhelming. We get young, up and coming CDM and a centre back, and it's just like good business. Exactly. We have to wait until the window's done. Unfortunately, man, that's the way we're gonna have to obviously look at it, man. But yeah, going on to the game now. And obviously we're going to discuss. Does Endo get into our predicted lines? We're not sure yet. We're not sure. Chat to me about this game, man. First game at Liverpool. Obviously, we've got the issue surrounding the Anfield Road stand. Partially complete. The top tier still empty. We're having walkouts. But we've got a midfielder in now. First game at Anfield. How are you feeling, obviously, about the game, man?
I think Bournemouth, did they draw their first game? I feel like they drew in now. I'll have a little look, but Bournemouth, pretty good team, man. Like, I think when Gary O'Neill took over last season, that's when you know they started playing really, really well and blah blah blah. So they were putting themselves in that kind of position, you know, for this season. Now the new manager, I can't remember his name, has come in. He's obviously coming with a whole different style. I heard the owner of Bournemouth. I remember him talking during the summer, talking about the new manager. What I liked quickly about the new owner was he came out.
Iraola, the Spanish one.
Iraola, that's it.
Yeah.
He actually came out and he even said, you know, he's not a football man at all. He's trying to employ all the right people to put them in place so that Bournemouth can then obviously start going to that next level, whatever that next level looks like for Bournemouth. So obviously that's why they then got in this manager, hence why they let go, you know, of a Gary O'Neill, because of the direction that he wanted the club to go in. This is what I talk about, by the way, when we talk about Klopp and stuff like that, is direction of the football, direction of the club. What do we want to do moving forward? How do we want to play? What type of players do we possibly, you know, need to start signing? And I think they've done a really, really good job this summer. They've signed a fantastic left back. I think he's going to be a top player, Kirkis. He's really, really good, man. Really, really good. They got Zabirny. I've done a player watch on him today. He's a really good centre-back, Ukrainian centre-back. Dominic Solanke coming back to Anfield. Listen, they're going to be a tricky team. Do I expect Liverpool to win? Yes. You know, I think we should be beating, you know, Bournemouth, especially at home, first game of the season. But they're going to be a tricky team, I think. You know, I think they're going to pose us certain threats. And if they get things right, it could be a very difficult afternoon. But I do expect Liverpool to walk away, you know, with 3 points.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Just to go and look, I think it'll probably be transfer market is the best bet. But I actually want to look at the incomings and the signs that obviously Bournemouth have made before we go into their team news. One of obviously the team news that's quite kind of big for obviously Bournemouth for the game anyway is the fact that Lloyd Kelly, their centre back, is actually going to be travelling up to Anfield. So that's a big boost for them because he's a big part of their defence. Lewis Cook and Utara. Utara is the winger or the number 10 that was playing for Bournemouth toward the back end of last season. I think he's injured alongside Lewis Cook, so there's still massive doubts for the game. But yeah, let me get into transfer market now, and I think the best thing to do is to obviously get up what kind of deals this team have done and how they've improved. Because looking at Bournemouth, like last season, what did you think of like their season essentially? Did you rate it? Did you think it was good?
Yeah. Like I said, when Gary O'Neill kind of stepped in after Scott Parker obviously got sacked, I thought like everyone had them to go down, especially when they got slapped 9-0. I think we all kind of looked at him for, they're going down. But Gary O'Neill really did turn it around for them, and he turned it around. He played to their strengths. Playing out wide, getting the ball out wide and getting the ball into Dominic Solanke, and then also using Dominic Solanke as almost a hold-up kind of player. The guy it's funny how his career has gone because he looks decent now. He definitely didn't look like that at Liverpool, but he's really coming into his own. He seems to be like a complete forward. He can run in behind. He can hold up play. He can bring others into play. He can knock the ball out wide. He can dribble. Do you know what I mean? He's got an array of finishes as well. Like he's really turned into a decent player, and I think. K-Max just said it there. Cliver, Aaron, Scott, Alex Scott, who Liverpool were supposedly looking at in the summer. They really have started to change what's the right word, mentality of a team like Bournemouth and in the terms of the players that they sign. And I'm looking at them and listen, I'm not saying that they're going to be any world beaters or anything like that. But you know what? I think they're going to have a good season. And last season, I think they're going to be able to bounce off of that. And I think if they can just keep with the manager, and there's going to be bad results. There's going to be bad days. There's going to be, so many different things happening. But just keep with the manager. Let him kind of get used to the league. Give him till like December because he's brand new. And then see how obviously things look. But I think they'll have a decent season and maybe could even push for that top 10 potentially if they can play. Because they got good players, bro. They really do have good players, I think.
We're going to look at obviously their incomings this season alongside obviously their outgoings to go and have a look at how they've obviously strengthened. We're seeing here their biggest signing of the season so far is 23-year-old Traore from Sassuolo, a player that I'm actually aware of, interest that funnily enough, and I've been aware of for a long time now.
Do me a thing, just enlarge it a little bit, like a tad,
make it larger, yeah?
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm just watching it on the thing, so I'm just seeing it's just a little bit small. Yeah, that's calm. That's super calm.
That's cool, yeah?
Yeah.
So Hamid Traore, Junior Traore from Sassuolo, they're obviously Ivorian. Very, very, very good player. I didn't realize that they actually went and managed to sign him. They've also managed to go and sign Alex Scott. And interestingly enough, Liverpool were linked to this Alex Scott, weren't they, G? A lot of us were talking about him at the back end of last season, saying that he's the one that's actually coming for, obviously, Liverpool. Milos Kerkez as well, the fullback that you spoke about from AZ Alkmaar. Good player, yeah?
Yeah, I think he's like I've got my stocks. Remember this morning we were talking about stocks in players alongside Musiala and like maybe a couple others. He's also one of those where just put a bit of money into him. Just put a little bit of money into him. He's a good player.
Cool. We got Romain Fèvre as well. Who's that? Obviously,
he's about to say Romain.
Romain Fèvre, French Algerian, Olympic Lyon. I don't really know about him, but interesting.
No.
Justin Cliver, really good, really interesting one. Someone that was touted for a long time to be like really good. Obviously coming from Roma, but it really just hasn't worked out for him. For 11 million. Max Aarons, obviously a big signing for them. Obviously a right back that was linked with Bayern Munich at one point. Linked to go to Dortmund, Liverpool. Only 8 million euros, 5 million £6. Wow.
You're not so mad about Max. I feels like he's been around for time. For when we were linked with him like 2-3 years ago. But now I'm just realizing, right, so he was that young back them times kind of thing, like 19, 20 years of age doing his thing. That's dope.
Yeah. And obviously last but not least, I know there's some other like keepers and stuff that have just come back off loan but yeah.
And they got Tyler Adams as well.
Oh yeah, it's looking at Tyler Adams is going to be moving there as well, so that can be really interesting. And then Mark Travers, Will Dennis, Ben, and then obviously this keeper, Radu as well, Romanian keeper, on loan from Syria, from Inter Milan. So really interesting here. If we go back, hold on. Oh, let me go back. Yeah, and I want to look at their departures as well and see what's being said there.
Lerma went. Mm-hmm. Oh, he went to Palace.
Yeah, so Jefferson Lerma's at Crystal Palace, so he actually moved to Crystal Palace. That's a decent signing for them. I think he's a very good player. Ben Pearson, he didn't really do well in the Premier League last year. You know, I know he was signed from Sheffield Wednesday, was it? I think he had a decent season in the Championship, but it just didn't work out for him. So he's moved only for 1.5 million, so really cheap. We've got Jordan Zemura, who's left to go to Udinese. Jack Stacey went to Norwich. He's gone on loan. So Roman Favour's actually gone on loan. So they bought him and then sent him back out on loan. Mark Travers gone on loan to Stoke. Dembele. Junior Stanislas, obviously, that's one that's the big one, isn't it? That's obviously left. But yeah, so look, bar Jefferson Lerma, who was a massive player for them, they've actually managed to obviously go and retain the rest of their players, which is obviously a massive boost for them, because the likes of Billing, Lewis Cook, Lloyd Kelly and stuff, they're still available. They're still free and available. And if you just go back and have a look at their team, they've strengthened without getting rid of a lot of their main players. So the likes of Neto, obviously signed from Barcelona, Marcos Sensi as well, who was decent last season. Obviously, you've got Chris Mepham, Max Sarris now, Ryan Fredericks still at the club. Billing, Lewis Cook, as we spoke about, Joe Rothwell as well, who he had a decent start. Marcus Tavernier, Ryan Christie. They've actually got David Brooks back as well. So obviously, big up to David Brooks after as well. So that's a massive one for him. And then obviously Jamal Lowe, who obviously done well in the Championship, didn't really get a chance at Bournemouth, went back to the Championship, but is now back in the Premier League with the teams, decent player. Kiefer Moore, who we saw obviously in the World Cup, was a decent player for Wales. Obviously, Antoine Semenyo played for Ghana. I think he's all right. I'm not too sure about him, if I'm being honest. But Dominic Solanke really proving that he can be a decent kind of low to mid-level Premier League striker. So a lot of optimism for Bournemouth going into the season, man.
Nah, big up One Touch TV. Yeah, no,
big up One Touch saying, oh yeah, now big up the panel. Is it me or you lot have just aged rapidly in the last 3 weeks? Smile, guys. Far from the Endo. In Klopp, you can trust. Listen,
if Liverpool win the league, I'll cut my beard, bro. Like, until then, man.
I feel revitalized, man. I'm not gonna lie, I feel revitalized, but yeah, man. K-Mac saying Utara is very special. So he's rating Utara. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You see, this is why I'm not rapping anymore. Can you see? This is why I'm not doing it. This is why I'm not dropping bars, because I told you. Did I tell you how I was like working at the gym and someone came to me and started saying meat milk? You know, because I've done that rap. But yeah, someone came to me and was like,
you said we're Jerry big time now. Big time, but people out here just, hey, come on.
I think it's not even big time. I've just been made Twitter famous by Terry and Kaz, in it, but it is what it is. So yeah, obviously a good team. So looking at what you guys are saying as well, we've got here Mr. Moses saying Gary O'Neill, hopefully England manager in the future. So he's rating Gary O'Neill. We've got Pierre M saying regarding Endo, saying I had German lessons together with Nat Phillips. I have a very good connection with him. I think he can help me. Nat Phillips stays. Crazy. Wiener saying they signed Fev. He's good. So, all right. So Wiener's rating Fev. We've got Phil Bidwell saying before the window opened up, Klopp did say that there will be signings this summer, but not necessarily the players us fans would be happy with.
It's only at Liverpool where we have to sign players that we're just not happy with. Like, why everywhere else? Man, like Arsenal fans wanted Declan Rice, they got him. Man United fans wanted Casemiro, they get him. They wanted Varane, they get him. Chelsea have signed everybody, and those are the players that they want. At Liverpool, it has to be, we're not really feeling these guys. Like, why? Like, why does it always have to be that kind of dynamic? I don't get it. It's always like we're just not. They're not
facts.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's what it is, man. We got firm. We're just the rice at home, innit? The stew in the fridge type of club. calm, man.
Yeah.
Honestly saying Tyler Adams to Bournemouth is a here we go, according to Fabrizio Romano. So Tyler Adams is one there as well. Whether he'll be obviously registered for the team, I'm not too sure. Big up to outsider saying live. You know what? Let me try. This isn't my language, by the way. I'm just having some fun. Liverpoolov prego Varachki Team Koyeg China Day Follows Ibari Hunter Odleteli su niemiecku kako by završili transfer Ryan Gravenberch. Any news, G? Is there any truth in that?
I mean,
Outside,
you know what's jokes, yeah? You know that what's jokes? It's like, you know, when a guy will pan to someone and then, like, I don't know, he might just be in the middle of eating food or whatever. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. I'm assuming by all of that, because I think I saw this article anyway about Christian Falk talking about Liverpool might be in for Gravenberch. I'm potentially thinking it's like 20 to 25 mil. I think that's what it was, talking about that. I don't know. Would you want Gravenberch is really the question we got to ask. Is that the type of midfielder we think we need heading into the season? Honestly, I do not know. Jerry might be able to say yes, no, but for me, I don't know what Klopp wants. Listen, we all thought we was getting Caicedo. We've ended up with Endo. So I don't know what this brother wants anymore. Let's just see.
Yeah, exactly. We got outsiders saying, ha ha ha, I translated that to you, but you read it very well, actually. Good job. Do you know what it is? You know what? Give me another chance. I think I could read it better. Just give me a chance. I think I could read it better. It's just Sonics. When you speak multilingual, innit? You can do it. One touch saying, sidebar, stop playing down your role. You're big time now. EP loading, see you Tuesday. Exactly. So, guys, I will be on One Touch on Tuesday as well, Tuesday evening. So that's going to be a very, very interesting show. So, guys, make sure we're obviously heading over to One Touch TV and shouting them man out. What else we got here? John saying, if Liverpool somehow win the league, I'll dye my hair yellow. Cisse vibes.
Say no more, bro. I want to see it in your next video as well, bro. If Liverpool win the league, my guy.
I need to see that Cisco. I need to see that Cisco trim. Let me see that. Yeah, listen. That's
yeah. I was actually listening to Drew Hill and Cisco the other day, actually.
It's a tune, man. It's a tune. We got to Rocco Mancini saying, congratulations to Liverpool fans for signing a top player. Hope he becomes the cult hero he has been to every other team he's played for. That's good, man. That's good. I hope he does as well. Man. Looking at, we've seen Bournemouth now. We've spoken about Liverpool. How do you see this game going, man?
Look, it's like I said before. I think we should get the victory, but there will be some difficulties. It'll be in again. I'm just more interested to see how Bournemouth actually line up in this game more than how I think we all know how Liverpool are more or less going to play. What our kind of style is. So I'm more interested to know how are Bournemouth going to set up to combat our style, because if we play the way that we played in that first, 30 minutes against Chelsea, and we can put our chances away, then we already know. Do you know what I'm saying? The league is already the game's already kind of done. But if we play like we did for the rest of that game, Bournemouth have, in my opinion, maybe like an equal level striker in terms of Nicholas Jackson and Dominic Solanke. Like, if I'm being super real, in the Premier League at this moment in time, from what I've seen of Jackson, I think he's good as well. So maybe it might turn out to be one of those things where, I think it might turn out to be one of those kind of things whereby we have a bit of trouble. But yeah, I'll go with, we'll do the score prediction later. But yeah, I think we'll win. What about you?
I think Liverpool win this game. I think going forward, they'll have too much, and because at Anfield we have a decent record. Let's remember we're now 12 unbeaten in all competitions. or in the Premier League actually, since obviously the back end of last season, and obviously now with the Chelsea game. So even though we were terrible, we didn't have a DM. We lead in that game, and we still didn't lose the game. So obviously there are some slight positives to take from the game. If we go and look at obviously at how Bournemouth set up, go on, sorry.
No. I was saying, yeah. There was positive. Like,
So, so if we hold on, let me zoom into this. So obviously, this is the team that obviously Bournemouth lined up with in their last game, versus West Ham, which obviously resulted in a 1-1 draw for them at what's their stadium called, man? What's Bournemouth Stadium called? Stadium Align? No, that's Sunderland.
Hold
Vitality
on.
Stadium. Vitality. There we go. Yeah. So obviously Neto in goal. We're looking at obviously Max Aarons at right back. Zabani. I don't really know about him at centre back alongside obviously Sensei and Kirkes at left back. They played obviously a double pivot. It looks like with Billing and Rothwell, the two deeper players. I think Billing was sitting a bit more than Rothwell, and then obviously midfield like attacking three of Brooks, Christie, and Anthony, and Solanke started up front. Obviously, the people that came off the bench, obviously Chris Mepham, Justin Kluivert, Kiefer Moore, James Hill, and Antoine Semenyo, with Hammer Torres still obviously waiting for his debut. His debut for the Cherries. Looking at that then, at that setup, how do you see Bournemouth setting up against Liverpool? And where do you think they might?
If let's say we just based it off on that, I can see Kluivert coming in because I feel like they're gonna know and understand, especially how you got Anthony on the left hand side. I think they're going to try and exploit that, as best as they possibly can. You've got Billing in there as well. I think he's actually pretty decent, to be honest with you. Decent midfielder. He might be able to hold it alongside Rothwell, whoever they want to play in there. But I think it's going to be more the wings. Brooks, it will either be Brooks or Anthony. I don't know if they would play Brooks. I just don't feel against Liverpool he's defensively sound enough for them to trust him potentially in that position. So I feel like Kluivert might just come in because if they can hit us on the counter attack, you want someone with that pace, the agility to be able to get in behind, kind of thing. Maybe you can move Brooks infield, potentially play behind the striker, and then obviously Dominic Solanke, as long as he can hold up the ball well enough, he'll run the channels. He will run those channels, and I don't know who he's going to come up against. Probably just Konate in a sense, but if he's coming up against Konate, you can easily just overload that side, to be honest with you. And that's our weaker side in a general sense. Start overloading that side, and you got Kirkes on there as well. Someone who likes to bomb up and down the field. It could become a long day down that type of side. So yeah, and Zabini, he's good, man. He's good, a really good centre back, really, really good. So he reads the game like really, really well.
What team is he from? What team is he from?
Dinamo Kiev.
Oh, okay.
He signed in January. Signed in January.
Oh, okay. Signed in January. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, he's got to play Champions League and all of that. Like he's good, man. He's good. He's a good centre back.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah. I think it's more their left and our right. I feel like that could be a strength because of Kirkes. I feel like he would be really good. And when you've got Max Aarons on that right side, if done properly, anyway. Again, this is all hindsight. This is all me looking at it before the game, before we actually kick a ball. But I would think that Max Aarons, he's okay defensively. He can get himself forward, but he can be okay defensively. He will end up just chilling, and as long as he's aware, yeah, they should be all right in that kind of sense. But you know what? I'm saying all of this just for them to lose 9-0 again. So who knows?
We'll have to, exactly. So obviously that's the analysis there. What we're obviously going to do now, people, is obviously me and G are just before we head out as well. We're going to go and obviously look at our lineup predictions, man. We're going to get a lineup in, and yeah, we're going to.
Can we get? You know what? Before we even do the lineup, I'm not even having that. There's 7 more likes to 100. Can we at least hit the 100? 100 likes, we do the lineup. Get it? You know what I'm saying? Get it popping, man. Come on, peace, man.
Please, guys, come on. If you can get 100 likes, that would be amazing, people.
95. I'm seeing it go up. 96.
All right. Whilst we're doing that, G, yeah. Whilst it's going up, Listen to this. This is what Klopp is saying, yeah, regarding Endo.
98, yeah. 101. Big up you guys, man. I love you guys. I swear to God. Sorry.
Big up. All right, cool. So I'm gonna read it out. I'm gonna read it out because you guys won't hear it. But this is what Klopp is saying to Endo, right? Hi, good to meet you. Nice to meet you. This is the second time they met, or the first time they've met. All good, yeah, all good. As soon as you are available in the right stuff and in the right shirt, just feel as comfortable as possible because we need you. We really, really need you. And your heart and your legs and your football ability and your football brain, your desire, we need it. We have a really good team, really good, ready to work, but very offensive.
What context is that? Like,
do the rest. We have enough time to talk. Really happy to see you. We really need you. That's
what
the conversation that Endo. No, that's the conversation that him and Endo are having when he's met Endo.
Okay. I thought it was a press conference. Okay.
No. But no, it's interesting because I wanted to know what he's saying to the player. He might have a bigger role. He might have a bigger role.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying, man. Like, I think
you never know, man.
I think it could be one of them ones. Like, listen, the window's not closed yet. I know we're all upset. At the end of the day, it's the 18th of August. It has, no matter what anybody tells you, it has been really poor planning, by Liverpool to be at this date, at this moment in time. And we haven't really got all of the targets, or at least 90%, 80% of the targets that we should be getting in. But listen, he could be that player potentially. Who knows? I have zero idea, man. Let's just wait and see.
Yeah, man. So interesting. Looking at, obviously, this is our lineup, people. Obviously, we're going to get into, so Alisson in goal, right? I think that's fair.
No, I don't even fucks with Alisson. Crazy.
All right, cool. Trent at right back. Is that something you'd go with, G?
What's the formation you done? 4-3-3.
What formation are we doing? 4-3-3 looks like the formation we're going to play anyway. Obviously, we can move it about when we.
Yeah. Trent at right back. Yeah.
Trent, yeah. All right, Konate, or you going Matip, or?
I would go against Dominic Solanke. You're going to need the pace. Going to need to be good in the air. We'll go Konate for now.
Obviously, the skipper starts now. Captain Verge. And what are we saying at left back then? Robbo? Tsimikas?
God, I don't trust either of them.
Robbo didn't have a great game against Chelsea, I don't think. I know he was exposed a lot, but on the ball, he was quite poor, man.
I think he'll go with Robbo. His first home game of the season. Yeah, he'll go with Robbo. I think that's the one to go with.
Cool. In the DM spot, what are you saying, man? Let's say, let's do two, right? So if, maybe you might have the same answer. If Endo's registered and available, do you chuck Endo into this game?
No.
Okay.
I would play McAllister.
Okay, you're McAllister in the 6, yeah.
From what I hear, because I've been seeing a couple people messaging and saying, so it's Curtis Jones, he's not available.
It looks he's a doubt for the game because of an ankle not fixed up in training.
Yeah, see all this Curtis Jones stuff. Yeah, now he's reverting back to type. But yeah, I'll go McAllister.
You can't blame him being injured, man.
Bruv, we said that about Naby Keita and look where he's at now. But yeah. McAllister.
I hear you. All right, cool. So who are you playing in midfield then? If Jones is injured, so you got McAllister in the 6. So you playing on the left of that midfield, Gakpo.
This is where it becomes a bit tricky, isn't it? Who else have we got in the team? Fucking hell, we have no players,
Elliot, Soboslai.
You know what? In that position, I would go Szoboszlai.
On the left, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. And why would you go Szoboszlai on the left?
Because I'll have Elliot on the right.
Oh, all right. We're going Elliot, people. You heard it here first. Why Elliot? Because we've got no one else, or do you think Elliot deserves a start because of his performance against Chelsea, or his little cameo?
His cameo was good. His cameo definitely was good. But I just think, yeah, it's just more of a case of, yeah, I wouldn't throw Endo in. Why would I throw him into the first game of like, what, zero training? Is it like, this ain't like playing a striker up top or something where you're just like, brother, I just need to score. You know what I mean? Like, you're just coming in to do that one job. You don't necessarily need too much to kind of figure that out. Yeah, no, I would probably say, yeah, go with that, to be honest. This is what I say to people, you know, I'm just looking at this, yeah. This is why I'm wondering why people think we can go out there and win a league. Like, where do you, like, look at that midfield alone. You know what? Add Endo if you want. Even if you did add him, it doesn't even look any much better. But yeah, I would just go with, I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
Cool. And then up front, Salah or Doak?
Come on, man. The Egyptian king in them thing there.
Up front, what are you saying? You going Gakpo, you going Nunes or Jota?
Brother, it's Jota and it will always be Jota and Gakpo. I don't want Diaz.
Really? Even though he was one of our better players in the last game. Jota was shocking. Jota was one of our best players in the last game.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. He didn't play none of them really in their position like that. And not with the right players. Play this three and less than then I'll judge him.
Yeah, but Diaz had a better. He scored a what? You'd actually get rid of Diaz considering he went and scored a goal as well.
Yeah, as in Diaz was never a starter. He's never will be a starter in my eyes. Like he's not. I don't see the same level of cohesion up top with a Diaz, you know, kind of being in there. Nunes, nah, man, you're definitely touching bench. You ain't playing. But I think unless Jota's injured, when Jota and Gakpo play together in this position, none of this playing Gakpo in the 8 crap. When you put Gakpo up top in that false 9 position, able to work with Jota in that kind of role, that's when I feel you get to see the best of him. But I do think actually Diaz will start, but I would much prefer to see Jota, what do you call it, out there on the left hand side than Diaz, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
What would you go like? What would you like? What would you change? What would you?
The changes I would do, I'll do it now. So
yeah. Let's see what
I'm tucking him.
It's just my opinion, people. Don't kill me for it. We all got different teams. Like, you know what I'm saying?
If Jones was available, I'd play Jones in the 6. I'd play Jones in the 6 if he was available, but he's not available. So for now, that's what I'd do. I'd go.
Who's this JD guy? Oh, looks like Jerry might have frozen. Oh.
This is the team I'd go with at Liverpool. At Bournemouth, sorry, at Liverpool, at Anfield for Bournemouth.
Am I frozen or am I calm? It's like.
No, we froze for a bit. We both froze, so it was weird.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just making sure. I didn't know.
Yeah, this is the team I'd go with. So obviously, I said it, same back line. Me personally, I'm chucking Endo in there because for me right now, he has to learn on the job. And I know you're saying that that DM role is like, it's not like a striker. I think for what Liverpool need right now, I think it's as simple as that. Yeah, I think it will just be defend, allow the other midfielders to go and do their thing. Just be part of the defensive unit where you got Konate, Trent, Verge all chatting to you, telling you like cover this space. Look on the left, on the right. You get the ball and you pass it to the likes of Macassar, Szoboszlai, and you just defend. And I think it's a simple kind of role, more or less. Like Jamie's, it's of a high importance, but it's quite simple. I don't think there's going to be any like mad rotations and stuff. And I think you check in and see how he does. It's Bournemouth at home. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to get easier than that. Soboslai, McAllister, I want to play them further forward. I want to see what they can do further forward. We spoke about, obviously, us not being able to have any interplay unless it's mad close, like inside the box where the forwards can just do their thing. I think having McAllister and Soboslai further forward, not having to go and do as much of that defensive dog work, considering, the last Chelsea game, I think is going to put us in better stead, and we're more likely to have more of the ball. We didn't have a lot of the ball against Chelsea. I think against Bournemouth, we're going to have a lot of possession. So I think McAllister and Soboslai can actually affect the areas further forward. And then up front, I want to stick with Salah and Diaz because I think they're starting to get a bit of an understanding. That goal, I really like that goal. That pass from Salah and that run by Diaz, I like that goal a lot. And I think Diaz, out of anyone in our forward line right now, gives us some sort of unpredictability where he can just skip past the man. Jota can't skip past his man. Gakpo looked terrible in the last game, and that's how I want us to move as a club. If you're poor in that game, it's not like, you're a guaranteed starter because you're a main guy and this guy's on the bench. The way I'm looking at all the forwards, they're all on the same level apart from Salah. That's like a guaranteed on the right. So for me, it's like, if you play poor, you didn't score, you're off. That way, you ain't playing until you come on and you got to perform again. So I feel sorry for Gakpo. I like Gakpo. But yeah, in the midfield, he was terrible. I think Jota was one of the worst players on the pitch. And I know he was playing up front, but still, like, it shouldn't have been that bad. Like, it should have never been that bad. A lot of the time, he was making his runs to the left. He was out on the left when Gakpo was passing the ball to him. The ball was still bouncing off him. And I'm really, really confused as to how he moves, man. I'm confused to how he plays, but it's mad. And then obviously Núñez, look, he's had a good preseason, man. He's had a very, very good preseason, and probably a bit of a shame for him from a personal standpoint to obviously miss out on starting against Chelsea because he scored a lot of goals in preseason. And yeah, if he can't perform against Bournemouth, who is he going to perform against?
And that's I think both teams are literally equally as good as each other or as bad as each other, whichever way you want to look at it. The Endo stuff, I hear it, but I'm like, I don't know about that, man, because it's the position you're playing in, the intensity that you're going to need within that position. Obviously, it's Bournemouth, so there is the context of that. It is Bournemouth, and it shouldn't get any easier than this, really, truly. So this might actually be the perfect game for him to start. So there wouldn't be too much of an issue, but I think just with the level of intensity that we require, I mean, McAllister is struggling with the level of intensity, and he's played Premier League football. Did you get what I'm trying to say? So would he be able to come in and be able to handle that? I don't see him last in the game, so to speak. I don't know how the team then looks once you change him. But that'll be the only thing, to be honest with you, with the midfield. But I'm not really bothered. Play him. Let's see what he does. As you said, throw man in. We need to, learn on the job as it is. So I'm not really too fussed with it. With the midfield, I think the midfield, in my opinion, is not that good anyway. So put anyone in there, it really doesn't make too much of a difference. The attack, though, I can hear Diaz. I can't hear Núñez. I just think that if Bournemouth play the way I believe they would play, which is maybe sit a bit lower in terms of a lower block, he becomes useless because then he can't do the one thing that he's good at, which is running in behind. If they were to sit, if they do that, I don't know. They might change up. I have no idea. Didn't really watch their game to really focus. I was almost more focusing on the players than I was how they were kind of setting up. So I don't know about the Núñez stuff. But yeah, that's the only one I look at, because I feel like with a Gakpo, and obviously what you mentioned there about Jota was poor, 100%, man. He was definitely poor. But I just think that when you're playing in these certain positions, because that's like me saying, yeah, Gakpo was poor in the 8, Jota was poor as the striker. I'm not asking them to play in those positions. I'm saying you play in the positions that they're supposed to play, and then you get them actually working. Diaz, I can definitely hear. He had an okay game, in my opinion. Not that great, but he had a good game. Well, he had okay. It was okay. It was like a meaty performance. He got himself a goal. And he can do everything that you said. Skip past a man kind of thing. He could do all of that unpredictability. He's probably the most unpredictable. Alongside Jota, I think they're both as equally as unpredictable in their own kind of way. So I can hear the Diaz one. So maybe I'll leave him in. But the Núñez, I just can't. Yeah, I just don't want to see that brother play. I just think he doesn't link up that well. So I'm just like, Unless we get Bears. If we get Bears space, Nunes 100%. You start, bro.
But
start.
but that's why I'm playing Nunes, because if you've got Szoboszlai and McAllister further forward, they don't have to go and do that. We're not relying on like intricate build-up play because there's mad gaps and we need mad dropping in. That's why I'm assuming if we're going to have a lot of the ball, that's why I'll go and first of all playing Endo. Mad Endo, you know, playing Endo because as you said, it's not going to get easier than this. You're saying he hasn't gone and trained. He's been training. Like, he hasn't trained with Liverpool, but football's football. Like, you can come in and just do a pass. Bear in mind, Diaz came off the bench and he never trained for us when he first signed for Liverpool. He never trained at all. He just came, signed for Liverpool, and he came off the bench.
No. It's not even so much about like the no. He's obviously trained with Stuttgart. He's obviously trained with them. What I'm saying is, as we saw, we used Diaz. Diaz was blowing, and I mean blowing after like 45 minutes, and then I think he didn't even last a full game in his first game. And I expect that because the intensity that you come into is nothing like what you're getting at Porto. It's the same thing for Endo. He's never played this level of intensity.
The difference is he's like a Milner, in my opinion. Like, in terms of, you know, like the engine, he's not someone that's going to be like that. He's the type of player, and for me, from what I've seen and from what I've heard, Endo's the type of player that's like lungs for days. Like, lungs. He's not going to be blowing like that. So, and even the intensity that we're talking about, if he's playing as a DM, even if he's going and starting, I don't think it will be that bad. And on top of that, I don't think he'd last a full game anyway, because Klopp would want to go and just bed in the minutes into him, as you're saying, regardless, just because he doesn't want to burn him out. And Endo, for me, if he's registered, has to go and be able to play a part in this game. And like, I'd rather start him than bring him on, because guess what? We've got Newcastle the week after. And I'm not trying to drop him in at St. James's Park, especially when it's rocking at the moment. They're up for it. They're in the Champions League. They just smacked the team. You saw what happened to Aston Villa last weekend. If dropping Endo in that situation, for me, is worse than in a kind of comfortable environment when you're at Anfield. We're playing Bournemouth.
I mean, but this is where, I mean, for me, Endo was never coming here to play like that. Like, as in, I never had Endo in any team in any way. As in, I would have thought, by obviously context. So for Liverpool right now, yeah, of course, he's the only one we've got, blah, blah, blah. But even when we signed, I was like, I mean, I don't really even want to see you play like that. Like, because I'm expecting far better than this to come in and be the main guy. You should really be getting, to be fair, these kind of games against the Bournemouths and stuff like that. So maybe, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe he just comes in, has a lovely day, and that's kind of the hope kind of thing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, yeah. Like, team's calm. Like, listen, I'm good with this team. Bar Nunes, I just don't want to see him play. But everything else, I'm super calm with.
And I agree with what you mentioned about. We were saying you were happy with Nunes, with how he was performing.
Well, pre-season. I don't know where. I think when it comes to get the Szoboszlai McAllister thing, I agree. I think what Jerry said there, 100% spot on. If you hopefully, anyway, that's the hope. You have these guys further up the field. That's where they can do their damage. It'll be interesting though. I think McAllister will be the calm one. I think it's going to be interesting to see again what type of role Szoboszlai is going to still take up, because the excuse I keep getting from everyone is that because we have no DM, we can't seem to allow Szoboszlai to play the role that we've seen him play basically his entire career. So now we have this DM. I'm expecting that Szoboszlai. And listen, I love Szoboszlai. I think he's such a dope player, and I would love to see this guy really, move forward and really see what he's really good at. What we all know that he's really, really good at in that attacking third of the pitch. So let's kind of see, hopefully, and I do hope. Big up, Scraps, actually. Yeah, I think it would actually be the other way around, because I don't see McAllister being able to cover for Trent at all. I think it would be Szoboszlai more so. But let's hope Szoboszlai is able to, just do the role, man. I really want to see what he's like in that attacking third, and then we can go from there.
Cool, I hear it, man. So there you go, man. Here you have it, people. That's the lineup we've decided to go with. Obviously, I wanted Nunes, you wanted Gakpo, so that's something that you guys can decide, people. Would you guys go Nunes and Gakpo in this team? So let us know, obviously, in the comments, obviously now in the chat, and in the comments after the videos, obviously stream. yeah, let's just get into the comments before we get into our obviously score predictions. Shout out to Jean Gray. Big up to yourself, saying, afternoon, gents. Endo is coming as a peak fab. We need him against Newcastle more than Bournemouth. Yeah, I agree. I just think we chucking him into that game. That's like, if he performs badly, like, can you blame anyone? Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas if he performs badly against Bournemouth, if he's available, it's like, yeah, all right, cool. We can't play you in that Newcastle game like that. Whereas if you just try to test him out in Newcastle, that's like a baptism of fire. Like, do you know what I mean? Even Virgil, when he went and played, when he made his debut, it was like against Everton, and Everton were dead, and it was in the FA Cup, or like the Carabao Cup. It was like a meaty game.
Yeah, but it was still a derby game. Yeah, I'm saying it was
a derby game but it was a derby game when like none of the big boys were playing. It was like Virgil was playing, but he was playing alongside. He was playing alongside like Clavan or someone like that. And like, do you know what I mean? It wasn't the first team. It's not like we're coming against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup and we're saying, yeah, play him in that game, and we're going to see Elliott and Jones and Doak playing. It's not that team for me. So yeah, man. We got Wiggs saying, anyone see the short on here of Jurgen talking to Endo? You'd be walking out that change room feeling on top of the world hearing him say that. Yeah, because he's saying that we need you, innit? You're saying we need you. So yeah. We'll see. We've got Alexander Delos saying Nunes is one of the players that sometimes he's maybe good and sometimes he's maybe shit. We've got Gary Richards saying Talio JJ, one would though Endo in.
I'm assuming throw.
Oh, one would throw.
I'm assuming. Let me not put words in your mouth, Gary. Let me not put words.
Yeah. Big up to Jerson. Jerson saying that's the winning formula of Liverpool, bro. 100%. It would have to be, man. Shout out to Michael Ramsey in the building. Thank you for the super chat saying, I can't listen to no more this brother G nonsense.
It's always nonsense, man. Thank you for the super chat, though. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Oh, sorry, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Oh, my God. A lot of you guys are saying Trent, Maka, Soboslai in midfield. Scrap saying Soboslai, Elliott, McAllister. We've got McAllister and Soboslai. Elliott smoking the loudest of loud. That's for us, even including Elliott in the team. Alexander Delos saying Elliott has been very good as a sub. Up from all dead saying Gakpo, Nunes, Salah. We've got Liverpool 67 saying Endo is not registered yet, guys. Are we sure about that? If he's not registered, then we'll have to be G's team, man. We'll have to be G's team. We've got.
That's what I was asking the time. This registration thing.
12. It has to be 12. That's what I'm saying. The signing got in at 12:30. If you got registered before then and then they announced him, then he obviously could be playing. If he didn't, then you can't. Liverpool 67 saying I'll play 3-4-1-2. Left back Konate, Virgil, right back Gomez in the middle, left mid Robbo, McAllister, Soboslai, right mid Trent. Gakpo in the 10, Jota and Salah up front. If needed to score, then Diaz for Robbo, Nunez for Jota or Gakpo. You're really trying to kill us, man. You're really trying to kill us with that attacking.
Konate listen, the brother is struggling at right side centre back. Can you imagine what he would like, the brain like power that he would need to even understand to be left centre back? Nah, that has never happened.
Wiggs is saying, I heard Adrian isn't getting registered. That means we could still bring in 2 more foreign players. Gravenberch should also be non-homegrown. Maybe. We'll have to go and wait and see, man. We got The Bachelor. We got The Bachelor saying, the side still needs a little time to settle. So I can't say that you can judge him on his first match, but I have a sneaky feeling he will leave this club as a cult hero. Not the only one saying that, man. Not the only one saying that. So, yeah.
Do we care if he's a cult hero?
We do, because it means. But who do you define as a cult hero? For me, like Dirk Kuyt was a cult hero.
I always find that so tricky because I'm like a cult hero is nothing really to be like that's nothing special. Like a cult hero, like yeah, I've always found that term so weird. I've always like, well, a cult hero, like. You know them players that nobody rates outside of this football club? Like literally nobody. Dirk Kuyt, nobody rates. Origi, nobody rates. Like these man, like only like a few selection of the fan base would rate these kind of
No,
players.
no. Jason Park was a cult hero at United as an example.
Nah, but he was actually bro. I've seen this brother play well in Champions League finals.
That's my point. No, but that's my point. That's my point. But he's a cult hero because he was never a main man.
No, I think universally you'd see him as a good player though. I don't think he's seen as
but of course, but it's like, who else was a cult hero? Like Hipia was a cult hero.
Nah, he again another player that universally you'd seen as a solid player. Like
that's my
outside,
point, but he's still that's my point, but he's still a cult hero. That's my point. You've picked
but a cult hero is only someone that you rate in the club. Nobody rates outside of the club. So Origi, Kai, they meant like outside of Liverpool, man. I'm rating these guys.
Park Ji-sung, no one's ever picking him in their top 20, 30 midfielders.
No, but you don't have to. No, but remember, bro, man's not. You don't have to go to that. That's like the maddest extreme. Like, think of all the players in the world that you'd even put in like your top 20, 30 players. I'm just saying outside of the club.
Skirtle was a cult hero. Skirtle was good though. Universally, people rated Skirtle. No. Universally, they did though. They did. They were like, no, he's a good defender. But
I never heard one person say Skirtle was outside of Liverpool.
No, but there was a season even when Skirtle scored like 9 goals, bro. Like,
yeah, that's good. That's good. But
no. G, you're moving mad.
Yeah. Okay, see, look, Wings, you put Lucas Leiva. Exactly. Nobody's rating Lucas Leiva outside. Not one soul. Not outside Liverpool.
So for you, the definition of cult hero means that he's washed, but the people at the club rate him, basically.
No. It's no. I'm not saying that they're washed or anything like that. I'm just saying they're not rated as highly as a fan base. So even universally, if you ask someone about this player, they're not going to be like, oh, like if I was just a random fan, it could be of any team, doesn't even have to be rival. They're not going to look at him and be like, oh yeah, I think he was a sick player. Yeah, did it. They'll be like, yeah, for Liverpool is all right, but outside of Liverpool, I don't think.
Yeah, but that's like Park Ji-sung though. No one ever.
Park Ji-sung was, bro, at PSV, solid. Came to Manchester United, solid, bro.
Yeah, no. But just he played solid at PSV, but no one was watching him at PSV like that. No one cared. United were the ones that snapped him up when he came to United.
Remember, we're talking about Manchester United.
Yeah, but he was
like,
never
the biggest and best team.
But he was never a mainstay option ever.
Okay, who
he was one of them, man. He was one of them, man, that was like a forgotten man. And United people would be like, oh yeah, we're playing Barca and we need legs, so let's chuck Park Ji-sung in there. That's what it was.
Nah. You know what? We need to get a Manchester United fan. Any Man United fans in the chat.
But Ferdinand spoke about that as well. It's not to say that they didn't go and rate him, but even Ferdinand used to go and be like, Park Ji-sung was underrated. No one really rated him like that. He wasn't rated like universally by people. No one ever looked at United and said, oh yeah, they got Park Ji-sung in their midfield. Woo. No one ever.
No, but this is what I'm saying. You're going to that level of extreme. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that you have to look at man and be like, rah. There's only a finite amount of players that I'm even going to look at, or you're going to look at and say, rah, he is universally like sick. I don't have to be there. They don't have to be sick at all. Like you being like a decent level or a good level is absolutely fine. But when we're talking about the cult hero, the club, like i.e. the club fans, again, so Origi is probably the best example to probably use in this situation. Outside of Liverpool, he is 0 rated, like disrespectfully 0 rated. No one would ever rate Origi, but in this club, he's a cult hero. He scored. I think someone mentioned it. Moment players. They did banging things, at the right time, blah blah blah, kind of thing. And then man will be like, yeah, super, calm. But to say Park Ji-sung, brother, maybe that's just me rating him too high. To be fair, maybe I'm just rating him mad high.
Yeah, no, like I rated Park Ji-sung, but I'm just saying, like, no one was like, oh yeah, Park Ji-sung was like this world beater and all of that. No. He was solid, but this is my point. He was solid. This is what I'm trying to hear. He was just solid.
But if you're solid at one club, then you move to the best team in arguably the world, and then you're solid at that club. Universally, you're gonna be rated, bro. Like we're not talking. This is Liverpool, solid, We're not even.
No, but Park Ji-sung. No, but you're solid, but it's not your. We're talking. You guys are moving like it was at Park Ji-sung. Wijnaldum was solid, but Wijnaldum comes to Liverpool and he's not one of the main guys, but he's playing every single game. Party
but
Son spent
Wijnaldum is universally
like
rated. Though.
Chicharito. No, great example. Chicharito. He's another cult hero that scored bags of
Yeah,
goals.
yeah, yeah.
He was always on the bench.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was always on the he was on the bench. But no one's sitting here.
No,
No one's sitting here and trying to tell me that Chicharito was someone that when they signed him, everyone was like, "Raw, like, this guy's gonna take the."
No, but you're literally saying it, bro. He was literally a cult hero. Like literally a cult hero. That is literally the definition.
But
He was
see,
only decent
but I
at
rate
Manchester
Chicharito.
United. Yeah,
No,
but he
I
wasn't
rate
that
Chicharito.
good at Manchester United. He was okay at Manchester United.
No,
He scored
even
a fair amount of goals.
Oh, who's another one? Who's another one that was on the bench for United? They've had a few of them. They've had a few players that were just like cult heroes. Hold on, the week's saying here Gary McAllister was a cult hero. Gary McAllister was solid when he came to Liverpool.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that he would have been.
But people rated him before. Like, as in, you'd go to back then. People,
yeah, because remember
like,
he came in.
He's a baller. Like, yeah, Gary McAllister's that guy.
Let me see Chikarita's record because the way you're talking, like I would have thought Chikarita scored like 100 goals. Maybe he did actually.
No, John, you're missing the point. I'm not saying he wasn't good for Man United. I'm saying he was a very, very good player, but he wasn't their main flipping option ever. He was never their main option in the midfield.
Played for Real Madrid as well.
That's my point. But that's my point. I know, but still, this is my point. What's the goal record saying?
The goal record's not that great, but I assume so. I mean, 103 games, got 37 goals.
Yeah, for someone coming off the bench, that's a 1 in 3 striker. That's almost what 40 goals, 100. That's decent, bro.
His best season was his first season in English football, where he played 45 games in all competitions. Played 45 games and scored 20 goals. In all competitions, actually, his record is 157 games and 59 goals.
Exactly. So that's a good striker.
That's pretty decent.
But that's my point. Like most teams, if you went and told you Nunes is going to get a 1 in 2 goal rating striker, stats wise, that's my point. Is that that's
Like, but that again for Manchester United, who were the best team for that moment in time that he was there, he was only rated there. Outside of that, I don't think universally you would have said, yo, kind of thing. But you would have said for Manchester United, yo, he's doing his job, man. He's that type of striker. He does this, he does that, etc., etc. He had a great season in the Bundesliga.
All right, great example. Mr. Captain Sal, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yes, but you're literally explaining what it is. But I'm telling you, nobody's rating Ole Gunnar Solskjaer like that outside of Manchester United. He's literally a cult hero over there. Literally at Manchester United, cult hero. But outside of Manchester United, especially
you didn't rate him. You never looked at Solskjaer.
I couldn't. It would be impossible to rate him when they had Dwight York, Teddy Sheringham, Andy Cole. Like I can't rate him above those guys. So obviously, because he's in that kind of company, I'm not going to rate him above them. So straight away, I'm looking at you thinking, yeah, he's a good player. Like obviously at Manchester United, and he's actually a calm player, like in a general sense. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they're shit or they're dead. Like none of these players are dead. It's just universally, you just look at them and think, yeah, they're like, you probably just say, you know what, they're all right, kind of thing. You know, I mean, they're decent, they're this, that, and the other. But there are some players who would go past that kind of cult hero. Like you could call them a cult hero, but universally, people actually would agree, nah, this guy was actually, and that's why the Park Ji-sung thing, I'm like, nah, him, nah. Universally, that guy was solid, bro. Like super, super duper solid. Like I don't think you could even just leave him at Manchester United. Diego Forlan had the highest stock. I don't know about that.
He did. No, Diego Forlan had higher stock than Ole. Ole, this is my point.
You know, yeah, Atletico Madrid.
That's my point. But yet Ole was better. Do you know what I mean? This is my point. So, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But he was shit. Yeah, he was shit at Manchester United.
Yeah, man. But yeah,
you know, this is actually a good debate. You know, maybe we should do a show on this, guys. What do you think? Like,
yeah,
it's cult heroes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's actually cool.
Exactly. Maybe show, man. Maybe so. But look, people, this is where obviously we need you guys to go and drop your score prediction for the game, man. Score prediction for the game. So let us know, man. What we saying? I'm gonna start with G. What are you saying, man?
3-1 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool. I think Liverpool get a clean sheet. I think Liverpool get a clean sheet.
By the way, guys, if you guys are watching us, which I hope most of you were, and please drop your predictions in there. If you watched us last season, count how many times me and Jerry both agreed that Liverpool would win, and count how many times we did actually win those games. I actually think the ratio was quite bad. From what I can remember, I think it was really, really bad.
Yeah, I'd actually have to have a look at that.
Because every time I used to think, because I remember me, you, and Roms, we all predicted it was either Wolves or Brighton. We all predicted that we would win, and we got slapped. We got slapped, bro.
But it's mad. We got Endman actually saying Liverpool to lose 2-1. Why are you lying, Ends? I know you don't. Hold on. Hold on. When Ends say we're winning the league. yeah.
I know you don't think that.
But yeah, we're seeing here we got Fresco TV. We got to Fresco saying 5-1 to Liverpool. We got Inferno Gaming saying 4-1. Neil Gunner saying 4-2. I said they lost 4-2. Captain South 3-0. We got G McGray saying 4-1. We got Sickman saying 0-0. We've got Francisco saying 4-0, saying Endo starts as well. DK saying 5-0. Salah will have a hat trick of assists. We've got Scraps saying 2-2 as well. So there you have it, people. There you have it, man. Obviously, massive.
2-2, you know.
We got 9-0 to Liverpool from James Doherty as well. So shout out to that.
You know what, James? I hope we win 9-0. How about that? I hope we win 9-0.
There we go, man.
And I hope Endo scores a hat trick as well, by the way.
Oh, that'd be amazing, isn't it?
That'll be actually jokes. That'll actually be jokes.
Yeah. But yeah, man, obviously big up to everyone that's been tuning in. So please make sure if you watch this on the replay that you're liking the video and you're commenting down below your score prediction. Please let us know who do you guys think is, going to get on the score sheet also, and what the scores will be. Obviously, G, as always, safe, obviously, for coming on. Love, as always. Obviously, you've just dropped on GTV. Just let the people know, obviously, the scouting report. For people to have a look. Yeah.
You got me confused. Yeah. Johan Bakayoko. Hey, love for that wigs, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to grow it. You know what I'm saying? I need 1-2 beard products and that. But if you guys know of any good beard products, let me know. Johan Bakayoko. There have been like small little links that we've been linked with him. The PSV winger, Belgian. I think he actually scored on his debut for Belgium, or after his second game, one of the two. Right winger, decent player, coming out at 4:00. So yeah, just after this, it'll be out. So yeah, you guys just check it out. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Is this someone maybe we should be looking at, so to speak, besides all the other DM centre backs and stuff like that? And then that's me, and I'll be back here. Ends your waste, man. It'll be back here whenever Jerry does the match reaction. If it's Saturday, then no. Sunday, I'll be about anyway. But yeah, man, stay tuned. And next week, I'm going to say it now. Next week, I'm going to do the show. We're going to do the show. We have to have a show about cult heroes. I think that'll be a really, really good show to have. Taking a look at all the cult heroes, or top 6, shall we say, teams and stuff like that. And then, yeah, man, let's go from there.
There we go, man. There we go. But look, until next time, people, thanks for rocking us. It's the Jerry James Show, and we're out. Have a good rest of the afternoon.